Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making one of my favorite recipes from Outback Steakhouse, which is the Alice Springs chicken. It's savory, it's cheesy, and it's a little bit sweet, like me. So let's get started with this recipe. Hey guys, so before we get into this recipe, I would love it if you guys would follow me on Instagram at @thehungryjawn. This is the place where I post all my foodie content. I do reels, some behind the scenes photos of when I go out to eat with my friends, and I also connect with you guys and ask questions to see what you guys would like on this channel. So if you want to be a part of that, definitely give me a follow. Now let's get into this video. Alrighty guys, so this portion I did a day early because I like to marinate my chicken. I'm using honey mustard, extra virgin olive oil, black pepper, Cox seasoning, and garlic powder. Now I'm using about 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, 2 tablespoons of Cox seasoning, and a teaspoon of black pepper. I'm gonna just drizzle about a tablespoon of olive oil and a cup of honey mustard onto my chicken. I'm gonna massage that in and let it sit in the refrigerator for overnight. You want to at least marinate it for 8 hours. You want that chicken to be nice and savory and succulent when it comes time to cook it. If you don't have Cox seasoning, use any type of chicken seasoning that you have. That's totally fine. All right, then we're gonna pop this into the fridge, let it marinate, and then we'll be back the next day. Alright, so today is the next day and we're going to get started with sweating down our mushrooms. I'm using chopped button mushrooms, 4 tablespoons of butter, and I'm just going to melt it all down. We're going to sweat down and brown up these mushrooms. You're also going to use about 2 teaspoons of salt just to help remove that excess water that's in the mushrooms. We don't want the mushrooms to be dry, but you do want them to be kind of like almost like caramelized, but they don't really caramelize because there's no sugar in it. But you guys get what I'm saying. We want it nice and browned. Now that the mushrooms are softened and browned so beautifully, we're going to set them to the side, and now we're going to start cooking our bacon. We need some bacon for this dish. I'm using cherry wood smoked bacon. You can use hickory smoked or applewood smoked bacon. Any type of bacon, as long as it has like a nice smokiness to it, is fine. You can use turkey bacon if you like. Beef bacon, any type of bacon works for this dish. I like pork bacon, so that's what I'm using, and that's also what they use at Outback, so I'm sticking to that. And you're just gonna cook bacon like how you cook bacon. All right, so once the bacon is done, set it to the side. Now we're gonna pull our chicken out of the fridge. I'm using 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 1 tablespoon of butter, just so that the chicken can have a nice buttery taste to it. But we're not gonna cook our chicken all the way through. We're literally just searing our chicken. You wanna brown it on each side. That's all we're doing. Don't worry about cooking it in the middle because we're gonna pop it in the oven. But we want it to have a nice brown color to the meat, so that it's like more aesthetically pleasing when you eat. You know, food gotta be pretty, all right? You can't just slop stuff on the plate because who gonna want to eat that? Exactly. So once it starts browning, you just flip it on both sides, and then you're gonna put it on a cooking tray or put it in a cooking dish. Whatever you have is fine. You can use a cooking tin if you got it, but you just want to sear it and put it on whatever your dish you're gonna bake it in. So while I was searing my chicken, I turned my oven on to 375 because we're going to finish up the chicken a little bit in the oven. Not all the way. We're only going to cook it for 10 minutes on 375 because we want it to cook up a nice amount. But you don't want to overcook it because we're going to put it back in the oven to melt the cheese. We're going to be putting some Kobe Jack cheese on the chicken as well. So just throwing it out there. But while my chicken is in the oven, I'm chopping up my bacon. I'm using 12 strips of bacon in total. Now I'm grabbing the cheese out of the fridge, as you can see. and I'm stationing everything so that I can assemble my chicken. I'm touching it. It's not quite done yet, but it's fine because we're popping it back in the oven. So first you want to drizzle some more of that honey mustard on there and be liberal. Listen, don't be skimpy on the honey mustard, because that really like does something to the chicken, okay? It like makes it more addictive. I don't know, but squirt some of that honey mustard on there. Then we're gonna go in with our sauteed mushrooms. Now I love mushrooms, so I'm putting a lot of mushrooms on my chicken. If you don't like mushrooms, then you don't have to cook this many. Cook to however many people are in your home. I like to cook enough for the week because my husband eats like he's 5 people. And we both love mushrooms, so I'm just drowning it in all the mushrooms. Then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of the bacon, not all of it, on top of each portion of the chicken. All right, spread it out evenly so each bite can have a little bit of bacon on it. And then sprinkle the cheese on top. Now you can be very liberal with that. I'm using a 4-ounce bag of cheese on the entire dish. That's all I needed, was 4 ounces. I feel like it's stretched pretty nicely. I mean, some people might think it's too much, but hey. And then once you're finished sprinkling the cheese on top, add more bacon, add the rest of your bacon, I should say. And put it back in the oven for another 10 minutes. And this is what we got. And then we're going to sprinkle a little bit of black pepper on top and some parsley for some color, because I love me some parsley on top. And that's it. That is your Alice Springs chicken. I hope you guys are loving it, enjoying it, tasting it, and falling in love with it like I have. So yeah, that's a wrap for me. So if you haven't already, please like this video. Make sure you leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.